Hey everybody, and welcome to the Rock and Roll Farming Podcast. And today I'm heading just over the border to Shrewsbury in Shropshire to talk to Farmer Joe Hamer. Joe, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Will yourself?
Yeah, very, very well. We've had some rain yesterday and overnight, so it's put a smile on my face after months
Damp,
of drought.
damp from the dust down.
Exactly, dampen the dust down. Are you a Shrewsbury or Shrewsbury man, Joe?
I gave this question probably more thought than any of the other ones that you sent over. Um, it depends who I'm talking to, if I'm completely honest, Will. Yeah, I play to my audience.
That's probably very wise. My my
Yeah.
what my I would always say Shrewsbury, but my wife's family, my wife's from kind of Market Drayton and she was born in Shrewsbury. And although she says Shrewsbury, her family all say Shrewsbury. But then,
Yeah.
I married up. So, I think
Yeah.
it probably depends
I
where
bet
you're
that
at.
wasn't quite hard, was it really?
No, it wasn't hard. It
No, no,
wasn't
no.
just Wrexham peasant from like. But yeah, no. But yeah, it is a thing for people wondering, listening around the world. You might wonder what the hell we're talking about. Shrewsbury or Shrewsbury, that pronunciation is a big deal, isn't it, in that part of the world?
It is, yeah. So my family all say Shrewsbury. I say Shrewsbury if I'm talking to the lady that lives down the road. But if I'm selling a Christmas tree to somebody out the middle of town, I'd probably say Shrewsbury.
Yeah. Okay. It's a minefield, these things. All right. You're a fifth generation farmer there at Arscott Farm. Tell
Yeah.
us a bit about the history of it.
So if we rewind back to 1883, my the Arscott farm, or Arscott House as it was known back then, was farmed by my still relations, but the male side of the family were up in mid Wales in a place called Beguildy in Radnorshire,
Oh yeah.
and
Yeah.
they were farmers there. Um, and the the son, the farm down here at Arscott, um, was actually farmed by our first cousins,
Okay.
and my great great grandfather Edward married his first cousin Ada
Right.
because there was no boys to
Yeah.
keep the farm in the Hamer name.
Yeah.
Their first cousins married, so yeah.
Okay.
But I think we've just about bred it out of the interbreeding out of ourselves now. I had to go quite a long way to find a wife just to
I'm
widen the
not,
gene pool.
I'm not going to make any jokes about Shropshire, Joe.
No, because she's from Wrexham.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Is that family heritage important to you though? You
yeah,
know that
very.
that because a lot of people don't wouldn't know those details, so it's obviously something that you're interested in.
It is, yeah. And then on my mum's side of the family, her dad, although he was an architect, he was sort of semi from farming background. He was actually born in Canada. Um, his dad and his two uncles moved out to Canada after the First World War. I can't remember what the scheme was called, but they were entitled to 300 acres each in
Yeah.
Canada if they fought in the war. And they went out to Canada after the war, and they were there for a good few years. But they had three failed harvests in a row. One of my granddad's uncles died of polio. My great grandfather managed to get a job back in Shropshire as a bus conductor through friends, and then the other brother had a windfall on some money and managed to buy the other two families out, and so he stayed there with the close to 1,000 acres, and they actually found oil on the farm about 20 years later.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
so yeah, but I've never seen any of that money.
That's really cool. I love those kind of stories. Yeah, I got
Yeah,
there's a similar-ish without sort of getting all into family farming stories. My the early 1900s, my great grandfather Evans, he was one of like about 14, as all sort of Welsh hill farming families were back then, and all his younger brothers and sisters all went to Canada, and one of them went to Canada, then he moved to the States, and he found oil on his land. I don't know if this is true, but the family legend goes. But then apparently he blew it all on like wine, women, and gambling, and then ended up
and wasted the rest. Yeah,
with nothing and came back
yeah.
to Wales. So we haven't seen anything of it either. But Anyway, yeah, I love those kind of things. So, how's the farm changed over the generations? How did it look sort of back in those days? And
So yeah, it would have been. It was so they bought the farm in 1920. Uh, farm farm with 224 acres, and
big farm in
uh,
those days. That's
yeah,
unreal.
bought it off the estate in 1920 with a house buildings and 5 cottages, and paid £6,000 for it. Um,
Yeah.
and yeah, I think they were very traditional mixed farmers. Had a few cattle, had a small dairy herd, some sheep and some crops, I expect, and quite a bit of parkland with the farm. Um, and yeah, they paid the farm off, and then war broke out. Second World War. This was fast forward to the Second World War, and my grandfather Clifford Hamer, he then became the farmer so that he didn't have to go and fight in the war. His father was getting quite old, and so he became the farmer then, because obviously he got reserved occupation and
Yeah.
he didn't have to go off to fight in the war. So he stopped behind and fought in the war. My granddad was a very, very good businessman, increased the size of the farm over time to 500 acres, bought another farm, made a lot of money out of seed corn.
Yeah.
He he used to sell seed corn from the farm, and yeah, he was on good contracts for that. They also, like I say, had a sheep flock. Not much left the farm. The calves were fattened and sold as beef cattle from the farm. Grandad did really well with that. I've got some pictures of him winning the I can't remember what it's called, the Paisley Cup, I think it
Okay.
is, at Shrewsbury Market. I said Shrewsbury
You did.
then. Yeah, he won the cup there. The year war broke out, and then they never held it through the war. It was like the fat stock show, and I've got a lovely picture of him with the cup and his two men holding the two Hereford bulls with horns about a fortnight either side.
Yeah.
um, yeah, he was a very good farmer. Had 3 sons. My dad was the youngest of the three. Um, yeah, and yeah, all was looking rosy, um, as these things do. But yeah, life's got a very good way of bringing you crashing back down to earth, I think. And fast forward to 1980 something, my dad had come back from St Andrews University. He'd done a degree in biology and funguses.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, he was a very, very forward-thinking farmer.
Yeah.
Dad, he developed the biological silage inoculants and additives that we use
Wow.
today.
Okay.
Um, yeah, he was a yeah dairying was at his heart. He wanted to be a dairy farmer. He said that we shouldn't be feeding silages with acid onto cows because it's rotting the machinery. What's it doing to the cows? And yeah, he won a lot of awards for his silage. The National Grassland Society award for his silage. He used to do like a 6 hour wilt, collect the effluent up, and he'd feed it back to the cows.
Yeah. Okay.
He used to pump it out of the tanks in the ground, and he reckons you couldn't get the cows past the silage, the effluent, to go for milking.
Yeah. Wow.
He met my mum in 1984. 1984. They got married pretty quick because I was on the way, as these things happened.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, 1985. I was born September '85. My my grandma. Another little story. My grandma used to introduce my mum as the lodger. Richard's lodger. Yeah,
That's really made me laugh. That's some really
yeah,
passive aggressive kind of
yeah,
mother-in-law stuff, isn't
yeah. My
it?
grandmother was pretty formidable. She was a bit like, well, she was my everything, but I'll come back to that in a minute. Um, and yeah, so all was rosy. My dad was setting the world on fire with his dairy farming and this, that, and the other. And then 19, I've got a picture at home of them combining, and my dad sat on the combine, me sat on his knee. Old Massey combine without a carb on, my dad in the white suit with the
Yeah.
vaporizer or whatever, the ventilator mask on.
Yeah.
And my mum said that was the first day that my dad struggled to swallow a sandwich.
Okay.
And he went to the doctors, and the doctors fobbed him off, told him he was stressed and this, that, and the other. And
Yeah.
fast forward 19 June 1988, and my dad passed away of esophageal cancer. He got secondary cancers, and yeah, he passed away. I left my mum at the age of 26, widowed with two sons, me not quite three,
Oh,
and
yeah.
my brother is 3 months old. Yeah. So yeah,
I can't.
26. I just can't imagine. Oh, 6 months before that, her sister had actually passed away as well of leukemia.
Yeah.
So she's pretty. Call her the Iron Lady. My mum. She's a strong woman.
Yeah.
So she raised me and my brother with. Well, I say she did, but my grandmother across the road. That she's like the grandmother that lived at the farm. She was my sort of like, yeah. She brought me up really. And yeah, I can't really remember it. I can't remember my dad either, because obviously only being 2.5 when he
Yeah.
passed away. But yeah, I can just about remember my granddad, because 6 months after my dad died, my granddad died as well.
Okay.
So it was like literally boom, boom, boom for the family. And that was like, yeah, pretty soul destroying, I suppose, for this family that had got expanding business, three sons, two of which wanted to farm, one of which was in Australia working as a cabinet maker fitting out luxury yachts, which is my uncle Martin. My uncle Robert had moved to the other farm where he was rearing pedigree cattle and sheep, and yeah, growing organic corn. And yeah, so all of a sudden, I suppose it came crashing back down to earth. My granddad said to my uncle in Australia, "Look, Martin, you're going to have to come home. Richard's very ill. He hasn't got long to live." So my uncle begrudgingly came home. He didn't really want to farm, never wanted to farm,
Hmm.
didn't really get on with his father, but came home anyway through, I suppose, through loyalty.
Yeah.
Um, so he came home. He played a massive part in my upbringing. Like obviously my dad, I was a 2-year-old, you know what 2-year-olds are like. He'd come and scoop me up and take me away, because my dad, the best will in the world, was
Yeah.
not my dad anymore. He was a very sick person that
Yeah.
he needed, yeah, constant care, and didn't need a 2-year-old climbing on top of him. So yeah, that's sort of where we got to with the farm. And then my uncle Martin said, "Look, I'm running this dairy herd. I hate doing it. I don't really want to do it. I want to build a golf course."
Okay.
So in 1991, he opened a golf course on 120 acres of the farm.
Wow.
My dad, when he passed away, didn't actually leave anything to me and my brother. He left it all to his brother. So we were sort of like, yeah, penniless orphans,
I guess
if
your
you like.
dad being so young, maybe I
Yeah,
guess he didn't have time to, it's not
no,
this
he
kind of thing
didn't
you
know.
think about at that age, is it?
No, no.
Yeah.
Although we've sort of, me and my brother have always been sort of pushed that way, that we need
Yeah.
to, yeah, it's sort of, yeah, I suppose a shotgun reaction to it.
Yeah.
You can't help but think that, yeah, it could happen to you.
Of
So
course.
he he built the golf course and opened that sold the dairy herd September the 17th, 1991. I can remember that, it's the day before my birthday. And he sold the dairy herd from the farm. The guy that sold them did a terrible job. Everyone tells me the guy that sold the dairy herd did a terrible job, and your dad's cows went for nothing,
All right.
which it's pretty hard to hear.
Yeah.
But there's a guy down the road who still milks. Oh no, he's just sold his dairy herd, but he rang me about 2 years ago to say that he just had 100 tons of milk or something
Wow.
from one of the cows that sort of the Sarah
Yeah.
family, from my dad's cows, which was really nice to hear.
Yeah.
Um, so Uncle built the golf course. the farming got less and less and less at home.
Hmm.
Um, I, I was always wanted to farm. That's all I ever wanted to do was want to farm. But yeah, it got less and less and less. Um, I think my uncle kept a few cows about and a few sheep about, but they got less and less. I think that was to appease my grandmother that we were still farming. Um, because I think she didn't want the golf course without the animals. She always wanted the animals were her first thing that she wanted. So fast forward a bit further forward, I went off to agricultural college when I left school. I went to Walford College, just up the road here, and yeah, lasted about 6 months and then dropped out. Hated it.
Did you?
Absolutely hated it. Yeah. And I said I'm going to come home and work on the farm and work on the golf course. That was where I was. Yeah, I was convinced.
Was your mum happy for you to go into farming? I guess if that's what you always wanted to do, or did she
It's a
try and?
difficult one. She never pushed us in anything, Mum.
Yeah.
She never pushed us. Like if we, and this is one thing me and my brother always say. Like Mum always let us give up on things too easily.
Okay.
Like my brother always says, like my brother's quite a hard ass, and like he's tough with his kids and stuff. And he says if they say they want to quit something, I'm not letting them. I'm gonna
Mm.
like if they want to do it, they're doing it.
Mm.
If they make that decision today that they want to go and join a rugby club, they're playing rugby, and I will encourage them. And I will the days that they say they don't want to do it anymore, I will encourage them to keep going. And we never really got that from Mum. We never really got that. I don't know, and it's probably not the best. Like you need to be encouraged from a young age to stick at things, I think. And yeah, um, yeah. But like I say, my mum has had a fairly tough life, and
Yeah.
yeah, it's yeah. I don't know, but yeah. So I went away to college, came back, and then my middle brother wanted to go into golf course management,
Okay.
and I took him for an interview at Research College, and he while I was waiting for him for his interview, I got chatting to a chap there called Phil Gibbon, who still works there now. And he seemed about 80 then, and that was like 20 years ago. Um, yeah, and he said, well, why didn't you come here to college? And that's what I did. And
Okay.
yeah, went away to college. And, yeah, loved it at Riggsy.
Yeah. Okay. Do you play any golf?
No, I've played once in my life and I hated it.
Yeah, I've not really done much golf. It's one of those things I always look at and think it looks great, but I think it's probably something you've got to do loads of if to get good at, isn't it?
Yeah, I
But
played a lot of rugby when I was younger.
yeah.
Um, I'm probably more of a build for rugby, to be honest.
Yeah, you've been watching the Women's Rugby World Cup. It's been
Yeah,
great.
bits of it. I mean, I'm not into my rugby much anymore. Yeah, when I'm not farming, I'm familying, and yeah,
Yeah, I know
that
the
seems to
feeling.
take up all my time.
I know the feeling. So you had a good time at Research. It went well there.
Yeah, I liked it there. I made some good mates, and yeah, we're still all in contact now. We've got like a WhatsApp group, and we meet up once a year. And
Hmm.
yeah, yeah,
Okay. So when you left Research to come back to the family business, what were you going to do then? What did the business look like, and what was the role for you?
there was no business.
Okay.
There was
Okay.
nothing. Um, my uncle made it very clear that if I wanted to farm, just going back, because my dad had not left anything to me and my brother, my grandparents had set up a trust fund for us,
Okay.
as a bit of money and left us a bit of land each. Um, I wasted my trust fund, a bit like your relation did. Um, I spent all that going out on young farmers, and yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't always pick up though.
Yeah.
um,
Okay.
yeah, and yeah, I think I'm convinced that I had it too young. I was like, I think I was 23 or 24 when I had my money.
Okay.
Um, it wasn't a massive amount of money. Like it wouldn't have got me very far anyway. But yeah, it would have given me a bit of a start. But yeah,
Mm.
so I I went to um, I went to go and work at a farm up the road from here. Um, doing working with store lambs.
Okay.
He fattened 20 to 25,000 store lambs a year, and I used to go there in the winter. I used to go there and lug the straw for them. Then I'd go and work on the electric fencing. It's the fittest I've ever been in my life. I spent all winter electric fencing,
I bet
and
you
then
did.
play rugby at the weekends. And so did that, and then built up a bit of money, and I bought myself 30 sheep. I had I had two pet sheep to start with that I bought as cade lambs from Reese Heath College. They were called Donna and Kebab. And then I went out and I bought 30 Texel mules. And yeah, that's where my farming started. So
Yeah,
I'd
okay.
got this little bit of land here. And I was sort of, the whole time that I was doing it, I was sort of like fighting with my uncle over this. I wanted to do this. And he was like, well, I'm entitled to have the land until I decide that I don't want it anymore. I've got a lifetime interest in it. So I was sort of like tussling with him the whole
Hmm.
time over. So I built myself a little shelter out of scaffolding and tarpaulin,
Okay.
and I lambed 30 sheep in there, and that's when my farming adventure started.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, my uncle had sold the barns, the farm for barn conversions in
Okay.
2008. I should have said that. Sorry.
Okay.
So I'd got no buildings or anything. Um, and yeah, I lambed 30 sheep. Then I lambed 60 and built myself a little shed on the field out of some materials that I sort of scavenged when we'd sold the barns. I'd managed to get some steels when they took the old steel frame buildings
Mm.
down, and I put the shed up with help of friends and that. And yeah, lamb 60 sheep, then got up to about 300 in the end.
Mm.
And yeah, I was lambing 300 ewes, and I was losing a fortune. I was working all
Yeah.
winter and all summer for the sake of having um,
Yeah.
these 300 sheep. And yeah, it just broke. I remember one winter, I was just like, this is ridiculous. I'm paying for the corn now for the lambs that I sold last year. And it was like, I was paying the corn company for 12 months of the year. And I was just like, this is so much. So I sold the sheep. I just just sold them.
Mm.
The guy, a local guy said, I'll buy them off you. I'll give you this if they scan at this, and I'll give you this if they scan at that. And luckily, they scanned at the higher amount, so I got slightly more.
Okay.
And it allowed me to pay off my corn bill, pay off some of my overdraft, and it left me a little bit of money, but not a lot.
Mm.
And I was like, what the hell am I going to do now? And a guy, I'd been working doing a bit of contract shepherd work for Reese Heath College,
Okay.
and the farm manager there said to me, you've got a real good way with the students. You can sort of, you don't take any shit from them, but you can talk to them and they respect you. Would you be interested in a bit of like technician instructor work?
Mm.
So I went there and I worked there for 3 years,
Yeah, okay.
instructing in livestock and estate skills. And yeah, enjoyed it. Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed my time there, and I met some good people, and yeah, forged some quite good links. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. How old were you when you were doing that then? Are you still in your 20s?
yeah. I was 20. I just finished Young Farmers,
Okay.
so I was probably just old enough that I got enough respect from them because I was a bit
Huh.
older, but they also knew who I
Yeah.
was because of all my time in Young Farmers.
Yeah. Okay. Well, tell us about that then, because you did a lot with the Young Farmers Clubs, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, so I was a member of Ray Valley Young Farmers, which is my local club,
Hmm.
from about the age of 14. I was club secretary twice. I was club chairman twice. I might even club chairman 3 times. I can't remember, but yeah. Um, I always used to say I was the equivalent of Chris Moyles. I was the self-acclaimed saviour of Ray Valley Young Farmers. Um, yeah, that was a lot more big-headed and arrogant younger days, I think. But yeah, and yeah, Young Farmers, yeah, taught me a lot. Taught me how to talk to people. Taught me, yeah, just life skills, just things that you don't. you don't think you'll ever need. But
Mm.
you look back now and you're like, Jesus Christ, I learned that 25 years ago in Young
Mm.
Farmers, and it's set me up for, yeah,
Did you do
yeah,
all the competitions and all that jazz?
yeah. So we won quite a few national speaking competitions.
Did you?
Um, I found that I was crap at speaking if I had to like if I had to work out a script,
Yeah.
like a speech, I was absolutely terrible. But if I was speaking off the cuff,
Yeah.
I could do that, and like I could, yeah. So I won quite a. I think I won national twice at Brains
Did you?
Trust.
Wow.
Yeah, and got to the final quite a few times with our county composite team. They pulled the best speakers together from Shropshire, and yeah, I think I was just loud and in charge when I was on stage. And like, if you can say something with enough conviction, people think you actually believe it. And yeah, I've
Yeah.
just always been a really good storyteller.
Yeah. Oh, it's awesome though. Well, yeah, because that's, not many people can do that. That's a real
No, but yeah,
talent.
like I say, I was not very good at writing and preparing a speech. I've been best man for a few of my mates, and I actually find I write the best material as I'm sat there eating the meal before I do the speech.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, when you're under pressure and you've got to do it. And I think that, like, I've recently been diagnosed as ADHD.
Yeah. I was just thinking that's an ADHD. So am I. So
Yeah,
yeah,
and like I think that's an ADHD trait.
it
You
100% is.
work
Yeah.
so much better under pressure.
Yeah.
Like like today when I was getting ready for this, I was like 8:30, got half an hour yet.
Yeah.
I'll just nip to Co-op and get a coffee, and then at like 2 minutes to 9, when I'm supposed to be talking to you, I'm like, shit, I've got no signal.
Yeah.
I haven't even got Zoom downloaded on this new iPad, and yeah,
Yeah, I'm exactly the same. And as you were saying it, I was thinking that's because it's been quite a discovery journey for me as well. And yeah, even my I write a weekly column, Farms Weekly. I don't even think about it until like a couple of hours before it has to go in, and
no,
then I blast it out. And like people are like, how do you? But I can't even think about it until
no,
then. I
no,
just it doesn't even cross my mind. And then much
no,
like you, I'm like, shit, the bed, I've got to get it in. And
yeah.
but yeah, until then, I'm just kind of I don't know.
Have you actually gone as far as getting diagnosed or not?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
You have. Did you
yeah.
pay privately?
Took me quite a while. No, I did it for the NHS, but it took me quite a while.
Okay,
But
two and
when
a
I
half years the waiting list is now.
yeah, but it was a few years ago when I did mine. So
Yeah.
yeah, I
So
don't.
I've paid privately to
It
do
made
it.
made a big difference to you.
I'm in the process now. It means that I understand myself a lot more, and
Yeah,
I look back to when I was a kid and realise that, like, I used to suffer like rage. I used to
yeah,
get rage. I still do now.
yeah.
Like, and it's just stupid things like technology rage and stuff like that. And like,
Fair.
if my phone's not working, I'm like, fuck, I could smash this phone in temper.
Yeah,
Um, but I understand that I'm not a bad person. I
yeah,
understand that the fact I do that is because I've got this chemical imbalance in my brain.
yeah.
Yeah. Are you? I can't remember what they're called. Are you both or?
No, just the one.
Oh, I'm both.
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
No,
I
for
can't
me,
remember what.
yeah, it's. I don't know, without sort of making this an ADHD podcast, the main things for me is A, I don't notice things. So my wife, yeah, just yesterday there was a clock. My daughter said something about a clock in our living room, and I said, "Is that new?" And they all went, "Are you kidding?" And I went, "No, I've not seen it before." And anyway, it's been there like 5 years, and I didn't,
Yeah.
I don't notice things like that. Like my
So
wife will put
my.
the Christmas
Go on. Sorry.
decorations up. I won't even see.
No.
I don't see things in the same way, and it's really frustrating for people around me, I think.
Do you find that you don't see things closest to you? So my
Yes.
wife, Laura's got a few tattoos,
Yeah.
and her friend Lisa is literally covered,
Yeah.
literally up her neck, all up. She's got full sleeves,
Yeah.
and like I've got none. I'm quite boring, but Lisa came. So Lisa's covered. Laura's got like five.
Yeah.
Lisa came to the farm one day, and I went, "Oh, you've got a new tattoo on your arm," and she went, "Yeah," and laughed. I went, "What are you laughing at?" She goes, "Me and Laura have had matching tattoos, and that's the tattoo. But you noticed it on me, but you didn't notice it on Laura."
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting, isn't it? Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's exactly the kind of thing I'd do. But yeah,
yeah,
I think for me, it's just been yeah, it's just been useful. Not because it didn't change anything. You just you get around things, don't you? But it just
yeah, yeah,
makes you real. I think it's made me go easier on myself about
yeah.
things. I'm not.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not as hard on myself, I think it's also made it easier for the people around me to understand
Mm.
why I do the things I do in the way that I do. So it just
My
makes
the big reason for me wanting to do it is because I've suffered since I was 19, terrible with mental health.
yeah,
Like, and the two are very much linked.
yeah, for sure.
Like, and I was probably at the lowest I've ever been the beginning of this year.
Okay,
I don't know why, no idea.
yeah.
Um, yeah, and yeah, it's I that was the catalyst that decided I know I need to do something about this. I need to own it, and I need to find
Mm.
out why. Yeah,
Yeah, well, I think, yeah, yeah, I've spoken about my mental health problems. People are probably bored about me,
I've given myself
bored of,
palpitations now.
yeah, people are probably bored of hearing me talking about it. But yeah, I think it's been the same for me. But it's just helped because it's made me not, yeah, not so hard on myself, which I think is,
Yeah,
yeah, it's just a bit of a load lifted, I guess. But well, we'll see,
yeah,
we'll see. All right, so young farmers, finished at young farmers, Reese Heath. Are
yeah. I
you
was
still?
county chairman of Young Farmers in 2012, 13, the really snowy year.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, that's when I finished Young Farmers. Then went to Reese, did 3 years there teaching. Um, I was here in like at farming at home, af and after about 12 months of being there, I was sort of I was at home and I was not in a particularly happy relationship.
Okay.
Um, and yeah, come July, um, a message popped up on my phone, and I was like, I recognise that girl, and it was Laura, who was now my wife,
Yeah.
and Laura had been a student at Reese Heath.
Okay.
So she'd finished college. I'd been aware of her, and she just sent me a message out the blue one day saying, "Do you fancy going for a drink one day?" And I was like, "Yeah, why not? You're not a student anymore." um, so yeah, I was the college lecturer that married a student.
Yeah. Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Did Laura live
So
locally
look,
to you then?
no, no, she's from Staffordshire.
Oh, right. Okay.
Um, yeah. So Laura did um, an agricultural qualification. She was a third year, so I never actually I said this to her one day. I never actually like had a lesson with her, but she said you did. You were teaching us fencing one day, and you almost took my eye out with some barbed wire. So yeah,
Oh,
yeah. So
okay.
and then yeah, the rest is history, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you met Laura, did you both plan? Was it both of your ambitions to get back into farming properly, or
Um,
was
so
that was
Laura's
was
not
meeting
from a
Laura part
farming
of the
background.
catalyst, I suppose? Right.
I suppose in a way, yeah. I mean, like I met Laura and I was like, well, not I'd known Laura, I'd seen Laura about the college, and
Hmm.
I think I'd spoken to her a few times, but nothing serious, I suppose. And he sent that message, and yeah, it was the catalyst that made me finish in my unhappy relationship. Um, and then I got to know Laura, and yeah, Laura moved in about 6 or 8 months later because we were fed up with the travelling, and she was working a um, quite demanding dairy role, and she was not finishing work till 8 o'clock at night on the dairy farm, which
Hmm.
was an hour from here. So
Yeah.
it'd be an hour. It'd be 9 o'clock by the time she got here, and yeah, it was literally like eat a tea, have a bath, we go to bed, and then she'd get up and leave again the next
Yeah.
morning. And she decided that she couldn't do that anymore, so she left, and she came to live here, and she got a job nearby. Yeah, um, yeah, and then yeah, the rest is history, as you say.
Yeah. Did you ever
Yeah,
consider staying at Reese? Like when you were teaching at Reese Heath, did you ever consider just staying doing that? Because it's stable job and pension and all the rest of it. I just
yeah. No, no. I was quite a maverick.
okay.
It's probably the best way of putting it. Yeah, I think I left before I was sacked.
Right.
Um,
Okay.
so one of my first days I was there, um, there was a lad there, and he was a trappy little shit. Best way of putting it. He stole my register. He stole my
Right.
register off me,
Oh
and
no.
I knew of
Okay.
this lad um, from Young Farmers,
Okay.
and I thought you're going to have to handle this one or two ways. If you do it the nice way,
Mm-hmm.
he's going to take the piss out of you for the rest of the time you're here.
Yeah.
So I floored him,
Okay.
pushed him to the floor, and I knelt on his neck until he let go of the register.
Okay.
And I took it off him. And just as I did that, my boss walked past,
Okay.
and he goes, "It's unconventional, Joe, but it seems to fucking work." um, yeah, and then like the whole time I was there, we were supposed to wear a uniform, we were supposed to wear PPE and all that, but I just dressed as though I was working on the farm,
Yeah.
and um, yeah, just like jeans, rugby shirt, and a pair of wellies or a pair of boots. We were supposed to wear overalls, and he goes, my boss goes to me one day, hell of a nice chap called Rich Wheeldon, he works for the National Trust now. He goes to me, he goes, "I don't know what it is about you, Hamer, but you've got fuck off written on your forehead and everyone seems to leave you alone." So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I knew I wasn't there forever, and I think they all knew I wasn't there forever.
Hmm.
So they sort of like, I never did the proper induction. I never went to go meet the principal or anything like that. Um, yeah, but again, when we had Ofsted inspection, I was the only one that got a level one in the department.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So
Yeah.
yeah, just
Yeah.
because I didn't tick every box
Hmm.
didn't mean I yeah
No. No. Well, yeah. Maybe there's something in that. Yeah. Maybe we don't all have to just be the same. I don't know.
yeah
Yeah. So how did you get back into? I mean, tell us about what the business is now, because you've got a highly
okay
diversified farm business.
yeah
So how did you like going from where you were then to what it is now? How did
okay.
that?
So I left Reese Heath in the summer at the end of the term, and saw that my third class of students leave, if you like,
Yeah.
and I got. I thought, what am I going to do now? I'd always done a bit of fencing about the place, and worked for various fencing contractors and learned how to do it. And I thought, well, I could go and do a bit of fencing work. So that's what I did. There's a huge, like, horsey community around here. And I
Yeah.
thought, well, I've got a few bits of equipment. I've got a quad bike sprayer. I've got a tractor and trailer and a loader. I thought I could do muck piles. I could do horse paddock spraying, chain harrow rolling, all those little bits and bobs.
Hmm.
So that's what I started doing, and like built up quite a successful business really doing that, and also selling small bales of hay and that in the winter. So you sort of, people would rely on me to move their mucky, harrow their fields, spray it, fertilize it, seed it, do a bit of fencing, and then they'd buy their hay off me as well. And it worked quite well. I got some really loyal customers that relied on me for everything.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that was going well. And I think I got to Christmas in 2015, so 10 years ago now. And I'd been at college with a lad it was from the Wirral, and he'd always been a bit of a wide boy, and sort of he sold a lot of horse feed. He'd got horses on livery, but he also did Christmas trees.
Okay.
And just by chance, I messaged him one day and I said, "Who would you buy your Christmas trees off?" And he said, "Such and such. Here's his number." So I rang him and I said, "Look, I'm thinking about doing Christmas trees. Can you supply me some wholesale trees?" And he said, "Yeah, I'll drop you 30 off on Saturday." And that's how it started. So
Right. Okay.
me and my brother, um, my youngest brother, because I've got a half brother and a half sister as well. My youngest brother, he came into business with me on Christmas trees, and we bought 30 Christmas trees, and we sold them on the Sunday markets.
Okay.
We had stores on the Sunday market, and I loved it. You had banter with people,
Yeah.
you get to talk to people, and I used to love it that people go, "Oh, sorry, we got a fake tree," and I was like, "Well, you know what they say, fake tree, fake Christmas. If you're happy with that, carry on." And like, you just had real banter
Yeah.
with people, and it was good. You were meeting like real people, if you know what I mean. These were real people, and yeah, and then people started coming to the farm to buy trees, and so like from the 30 that we started with 10 years ago, we don't sell any, we sell a few wholesale and we sell the rest from the farm here now.
Mm.
And yeah, we're about 1,500 a year now.
Are you? Wow.
Yeah. Um,
It's
Someone
quite.
said to me once, that's a lot of chimney pots.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you put 1,500 houses, it's quite a big village, isn't it? Like,
It is. The thing is with buying a Christmas tree as well, it becomes part of, it's important to families' Christmas traditions, isn't it? Going to
yeah,
buy I
definitely.
know because we buy our tree from a local farmer and it's like a big thing. We all go there, or even my
Yeah,
kids, my two eldest are in the mid-teens now, but they still come with us. It's kind of a big
yeah.
thing. So it's important. So I guess it's nice for you to feel, yeah, it's just a nice thing, isn't it? As well as
Well,
a big,
you're part of their Christmas. You're part of 1,500 people's Christmas
yeah,
tradition.
yeah,
They all come, and I've watched families grow up.
yeah, yeah,
Like we've been doing it for 10 years now. So the 5-year-old that was coming 10 years ago,
yeah,
or bought a tree off us. We have actually got people that have bought a tree off us every year.
yeah,
We've got some people that have come every year for a tree. Um, so that 5-year-old's 15 now, thinking, and like at 15, that's the beginning of your adult life, really, isn't it?
yeah, yeah,
You're finishing school, you're starting to make your own decisions.
yeah,
So it's yeah, you've seen that kid through his yeah,
yeah,
is
yeah.
important. Yeah,
Yeah, it's a nice thing, isn't it? Because
yeah, yeah. That's
even just what we talked about earlier with mental health, things like that, and it's important, isn't it? I think those connections
someone
and
said to me once, like what we do here is nice because it's all nice experiences.
yeah,
Like it's things that you haven't got to buy a Christmas tree, but most people have a Christmas tree.
mm,
Most people these days, oh, it's all nice experiences. Is what I'm trying to say. Like if you're even though you're spending money, it's a nice experience. If you go to the
mm,
petrol station, you're grumpy. You're not enjoying buying petrol, are you? You've got to
no,
do it. But when you come to us, you're choosing to do that. So
mm,
people are generally in a good mood, and 99.9% of people we deal with, yeah,
mm. So
yeah.
it
So
started with Christmas trees then. So you obviously
started with Christmas trees.
got the taste for it, and you enjoyed the camaraderie and dealing with people and the banter and everything. So where did it go to next?
Well, I thought, how am I going to sell more Christmas trees? I wanted to sell more, and that was all. That was like I was blinkered to Christmas trees. I was like, well, I was chatting to a young lad that helped us a bit, and he goes, "Oh, my mate's growing pumpkins." He was only like 14. I was like, "Oh right." He goes, "Yeah." He goes, 6,000 pumpkins, and he sells them for £2 each. I was like, "That's 12 grand."
Yeah.
Yeah, I said I could do that. I thought, well, if I could get 1,000 people on the farm to pick pumpkins, if I could sell a tree to 10% of them,
Mm,
that's another 100 trees. So I thought, well, we'll start growing pumpkins. We'll advertise the hell out of the fact that we sell Christmas trees and hope that we can sell a few more trees. So that was where I was at. Anyway, planted 2 acres of pumpkins. What was it? 7 years ago.
okay.
Well, when was lockdown? 6 years
And
ago.
2020, wasn't it?
Yeah. Okay. So this is our sixth season, but
Okay.
we've been doing it for 5 years. So
Okay.
we planted these pumpkins, and then they said, "Oh, um, we're we're in lockdown. I thought, oh great, I've got 2 acres of pumpkins. What the hell am I going to do with them? And yeah, I had a potato box turned upside down in the field as my desk.
Yeah.
I've got a gazebo, and the first weekend I sold 75 quid's worth of pumpkins on the Saturday, and I sold 80 quid's on the Sunday. And I thought, fuck, I made 160 quid here. This is all right. This is. Bear in mind, I'm still running my fencing business in the background. My middle brother had come into business with me at this time,
Mm.
and that's all we were doing. We were fencing. We were fencing up and down the country. We'd got a contract for a big estate railing company that we were doing, like going to some really big posh houses and doing estate railing. And then at the weekend, I'd made an extra 150 quid, and I thought, this is all right. This is 150 quid cash as well. I
Ideal.
thought, you know. And then Boris announced the weekend after, he said you could meet in groups of six, but
Yeah.
outside. And it went boom. It went
Mm.
massive. We were pushing cars onto the field, never mind pushing them off the field because it was so wet.
It was a wet autumn, wasn't it? That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. And like I had to have the pickup parked next to the desk for somewhere to put the cash. There was that much cash. I was like emptying my pockets into the footwell of the pickup. And I was like, this is phenomenal. This like and I don't know, yeah. From the 160 quid I'd taken the week before, I think it was like I took £1,000 that weekend. I was like, this is amazing. Like, and yeah, it's just growing from there really. Um, we had somebody doing drinks at the pumpkins back then as well, and then I got a mate who got a pizza business, and he turned up, and but I like that. If I could go back to that now, that was like that, and just stay at that level.
Yeah.
That was heaven. That was because that was like enjoyable.
Yeah.
You've
Okay.
got people who are like, "Hi Joe, how you doing? It's really good what you're doing here. We had a brilliant day. I've got 3 wheelbarrows. Oh no, I've got 5 wheelbarrows. We've now got 130 wheelbarrows.
Yeah, okay.
Although people keep nicking them,
Yeah, right. Okay.
I'm just going to buy a fleet of like wheelbarrows with "I'm a knob" written on them or something, and then people are less likely to steal them. But
Yeah, yeah.
um, yeah, and that, and I was like, you know what, I quite like this. We do the pumpkins up until the beginning of November, and then we have a few weeks off, and then we do the Christmas trees. And that year, the first year we did pumpkins, I sold 50% more trees than I had the year before.
Mm.
I thought it's obviously working. So the next year I grew like 3.5 acres of pumpkins, and they all failed.
was, I was just going to ask you about the growing them because they're not that easy to grow, are
No,
they? People
they're
make
really
it
hard to grow.
like
Yeah.
you'd think they would be, but they can be difficult crops, can't they?
With pumpkins, you get fat head,
Yeah,
and you've
yeah,
got nothing to control it.
yeah.
Um, so if the crop failed the second year, so I had to buy a load of pumpkins and lay them out on the field as if I'd grown them. And
Yeah.
people still had a great time.
Mm,
And it got bigger and bigger and bigger until 6 seasons down the road, we are where we are now.
mm.
And we're growing, I always say 100,000 pumpkins, but I've never counted them. So what's left, the cows eat. So yeah, so we did that. Yeah, pumpkin time's not enjoyable anymore though. You're like, you don't own the farm.
Full on, I bet.
Yeah, you don't own the farm.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? There's that many
yeah.
people that you like. One Sunday we had 3,000 people through the gates,
Did you? Jeez. Wow.
and I was like, "This is hell on earth."
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just walking around and I'm lost. I'm like an empty shell. I'm really lucky that I've got some really, really good people that help us,
Mm.
and they can run it without me. Like I'm just there putting fires out in the background. Like we've run out of cups. We need more hot chocolate. Like yeah, we get through. You get the big tubs of hot chocolate,
Yeah.
Cadbury's hot chocolate. Well, you can get a bigger one, which is about the size of a builder's bucket.
Okay.
We get through one of those a weekend when we're
Dear.
on. Yeah, yeah. I think it works out. So like 200. 280 litres of hot chocolate a weekend.
Yeah.
Is it
Do you have the
280?
same? Do you have the same staff same people come and help you every year?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So they must enjoy it.
uh, yeah. They do. Yeah,
Yeah.
um, yeah, and yeah. The pumpkins, like I say, has just grown, and we bought the pizza business that used to come here.
Mm.
Laura bought that. Um, when did she buy that? Two wedding seasons ago, and she runs that now. So we sell pizzas here. We've built a little shop and a coffee shop and sell things from there. It's yeah, we just yeah. I'd say we're Instagram farming now, not farming. But it's quite ironic as time's moved on and we've done the trees, done the pumpkins, and now of course we're doing the strawberries as well. As I've made a bit of money, I've sort of like crept back into farming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Now
interesting.
I can afford to lose a bit of money. I've I've sort of gone back into traditional farming.
Yeah. 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 Certain irony in that, isn't it? But yeah. Oh, you must have tremendous buy-in from the local community then, from the people around you. I mean, do people come from a long way, or is it just tend to be?
Yeah, we've got so our biggest supporters would be people from far away. Everyone in the village, I think, looks at me like like South Oxford District Council look at Jeremy Clarkson.
That's a that's a very British rural thing, I think.
They've all moved into the area,
Hmm.
um, and I have various fallouts with neighbours. Um, yeah, but
That's
yeah,
a bit of a shame, though.
it is, and I like to think I'm quite an approachable person. And
Hmm.
if you're not happy about something, I will do my best to try and change it.
Hmm.
Laura says that I'm too accommodating, and I'm I shouldn't bend over backwards for
Hmm.
these people. But yeah, I think that's a
It's
ADHD thing again.
maybe, yeah. It's
Yeah,
difficult though if yeah, if they're your neighbours, though, it's difficult, isn't it? You know, you've still got to live in
you
close
still got to live
proximity,
by
haven't
them,
you?
and we still got yeah. Somebody said to me once, an old bloke that I used to work for, he shared a farm drive with another farm, and they had to drive through the middle of his yard to get to
Mm.
their farm. And he said to me, he said, "We're like two heavyweight boxers, Joe. We can't quite knock each other out." He said, "But we just have to live with each other in the same ring." And
It's
I thought that's quite a good way of putting it. That
quite common that in farming circles, isn't it?
yeah,
Yeah. So tell us about the strawberries, and that was the next thing then, was it after the pumpkins? How did that come
yeah.
about?
So I decided that I didn't really want to do the fencing anymore. I enjoyed the fencing when I was doing it, perhaps a few days a month, but it was getting to the point that we were doing it full time, and I was
Okay.
traveling up and down the country, staying in hotels, and yeah, it I wasn't enjoying it anymore. So
Had you
I
got kids by then?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I
okay.
got one.
Yeah.
Uh,
So that changes things when with that regard,
so,
doesn't it?
yeah, so I'd sort of had a bit of a wobble, bit of a midlife crisis, if you like, and I remember my brother was dropping the post knocker off on the yard, and he'd said to me before that, he said, "Look, don't worry about coming back fencing. We can handle it for now." And I just went to him. He's taken the post knocker off, and I said, "I've decided I don't want to fence anymore." And he was like, "Oh shit, righto," because like like my brother had come to the business from a golf background.
Okay.
He'd worked in golf his whole life. He'd lost his job, and I said, "Well, why don't you try a bit of fencing with me?" And then we sort of just found a job and found another one, found another one, found another one, and
Yeah.
it just escalated from there. And I just said to him, "Look, I'm happy for you to carry on. You can have all the equipment. I don't want it. You carry on with the fencing. I'm my baby is the farm. It always has been.
Yeah.
The fencing was a means to an end,
Hmm.
and I feel like I'm at the end now."
Yeah.
um, so that's when I thought, well, I do this, that, and the other. I'm going to do the strawberries.
Even that's an ADHD thing, Joe. I'm not gonna keep boring on about, it, but even that is, I think, because you do things for like I've
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know, blocks. And once you've
Yeah,
done it
yeah.
for so long, that's just it. You
That's
can't
why
even,
that's why the way that I built my business that
yeah,
it can fit in around my mind.
yeah.
That
It's
like I do.
interesting.
I'm getting fed up of strawberries now.
Yeah,
I'm at the end of strawberries. I'm concentrating on pumpkins. I've forgotten about strawberries.
yeah,
They can do their own thing over there, and I'll
yeah,
do pumpkins. And then I'm fed up of pumpkins, and I'll do Christmas trees.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Well, in fact, no. My brain is in Christmas tree mode already.
Mm,
My brain was in pumpkin mode a month ago.
mm,
Um, so I said to him, "You carry on with the fencing," which he does, and he does a fantastic job. He is a far better fencer than I ever was. Mine was it'll do. I've
mm.
got the it'll do attitude, whereas he wants to improve his. He wants fencing's become a bit of a what's the best way of putting it? It's become a bit of a cock measuring contest. I think
Yeah, I know what you mean by that. You know,
we fenced.
who can have the neatest knot and all that sort
Yeah,
of stuff. Yeah,
we fenced our farm 25 years ago.
yeah,
Right, the whole farm. They cut every strut with a chainsaw and they hard stapled every bit of wire.
yeah,
90% of those fences are still standing now.
yeah,
Now, my brother mortars, tennis and mortars the struts in. He ties the wire off. He
yeah.
works to a certain specific strain. Like, do you know what I mean? And it's just, there's no
Yeah.
need for it. I've lost
Social,
all
it's
enjoyment.
social media, I think.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
It's
Yeah.
that, I think. But yeah,
Um,
I know exactly what you mean with that.
so I wasn't enjoying the fencing. Like, I wanted to get meters up and get away to the next job. ADHD
Mm.
again. Fed up with this farm. I want to go to the next one.
Yeah,
Um, and yeah, so I thought, what can I do that's going to keep me busy through the summer? And I thought, well, we used to go strawberry picking as kids, and there's none round here now. So I went and visited a few strawberry farms and got chatting with them. And yeah, I thought, oh, fucking easy, I can do that, no worries. So I rang up a company. How much are the strawberry tunnels going to be? They're going to be 50 grand. I was like, right, yeah, all right, I'll have some. I hadn't got 50 grand, but I was like, I'll find it from somewhere. That summer, I'd worked for a chap. I would work for a guy, but his name's Guy. So I'm going to keep repeating the word Guy.
yeah.
He was a music promoter, producer,
Okay.
and he manages like Chris Moyles and Sarah Cox and people like that.
Ah, yeah,
And
okay.
I'd done a job for him. I'd ripped out some hedges and put a drive in and become really close with this chap. Like I'd literally known him no time. And he said, "Oh, if you ever want any help with anything, let me know." And I said, I need to do a business plan to go to the bank with. Can you help me with it? Yeah, no problem. So December, I went round to his house. We sat around his kitchen table, and he did this business plan for me. This amazing business plan about how these strawberries were going to transform the business. And I went to Oxbury Bank with them with it. And I said, "This is my business plan." And I was working with a chap who unfortunately passed away about 12 months ago. A bank manager from Oxbury died in a walking accident, and his name was Fraser Tate. Hell of a nice chap. This is my plan. He said, "Yeah, just send me your accounts over for this year." And I said, "Well, I'm still waiting for them to come back from the accountants." He said, "All right, well, send them over to me, and we'll get everything sorted." He said, "It's a good plan. You've got a growing business. We want to work with you." At the time, I was working with an accountant who was less than professional,
Okay.
um, and by the end of January, he still hadn't filed my self-assessment.
Okay.
So I hadn't had my accounts back. Time was ticking on. I needed to get the strawberry system built because I needed to get the strawberries in the ground by
Mm,
end of March, really. Not in the ground on the because our strawberries are grown on tables.
mm.
Uh, um, and yeah, he he was just not doing my accounts, and I hadn't got them done. And I rang Guy one day, and he said, "How's the strawberries going?" I went, "We're going to have to put it off till next year because I can't get the money together. Um, the, the my accountant's messing me around this, that, and the other." And he goes, "Well, he can't do that." I said, "I know he can't, but he is."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, that's a shame." Bloody blah, blah. Anyway, I went and did what I was doing for him, and then he came to me and he said, "Bear in mind, I'd only know this bloke 6 months maximum." He said, "I'm going to lend you the money." I said, "What do you mean you're going to lend me the money?" He said, "I will lend you the 50 grand that you need to."
Mm.
And I said, "Well, what do you want for doing it?" He goes, "Nothing." He said, "I want to see you succeed."
Wow.
He's Yeah.
Wow.
So this guy that I'd known 6 months said, "I'll lend." He said, "I've got." He said, "Come in the house. We'll have a sit down." So we went to sit down. He said, "Look, I will either lend you the money, come in 50-50 with you as a business partner, like a
Yeah.
Dragon's Den
Yeah.
style, or I will come in as a silent partner." He said, "Which one do you want?" And I said, "Well, I think more of our friendship. I, 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 I think too much of our friendship to lose it. So I think if I borrowed the
Yeah.
money from you, that's the safest way without us falling out."
Mm.
So that's what we did. He
Mm.
lent me the money, lent it for nothing
Wow.
for, was it 6 or 8 months? He said, I can't remember. I think it was 8 months. He said, "If you pay me back in 8 months, that'll be good."
Okay.
And I didn't pay him back in 8 months. I didn't have the money to pay him back.
Yeah.
So I rang him up one day and he goes, "Look, mate," he said, "I know you suffer with your nerves. You're exactly the same as me." He said, "Just give it me when you've got it."
Yeah. Okay.
And
Wow.
yeah, and then I paid him back in 12.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. That's amazing. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
and I actually went to his 50th birthday this weekend, and yeah, we're
Yeah.
still big mates.
Yeah. It's it's funny how some people I'm a big believer in fate. And
Yeah,
some things are meant to be, and some people are meant to be put in your path, and I don't know why, but sometimes these things just happen, don't they?
yeah.
Well, that's amazing. So, how does you mentioned the strawberries were grown on tables, just for people who might not know anything about how strawberries are grown, or tell us about the system, how it all works.
So it's all grown hydroponically.
Okay.
So they grow in bags of coir. So coir's coconut shell. They grow on like gutters. So they're about a meter, 1.2 meters in the air. So the strawberries grow down and hang underneath, so you can pick them at chest height. Um, we feed them through the water, and they get fed every hour, or more or less, depending on what the weather's like. And we control that from a central point pump house. Um, it's been a massive learning curve growing the strawberries. Um, if you'd have asked me this time last year, if I knew then, if I knew at the beginning what I knew then, I'd have said I'd never have done it.
Right. Okay.
So with strawberries, like you'll know, growing corn and stuff, if you have an agronomist walk round, they'll say that crop of wheat could do with spraying in the next 4 or 5 days. Um, well, with strawberries, they say you should have sprayed them yesterday.
Right. Okay.
Um, yeah, and yeah, it's it's a farming system that is completely new to me, and yeah, I know everyone keeps banging on about regenerative farming and um, how we should be doing this, that, and the other. And as I hate the phrase, but I'm going to use it. I'm very much at the start of my journey of regenerative farming.
Yeah. Okay.
Um, like yourself, I went to Groundswell this year, and yeah, completely changed the way um, I look at things, and I'm looking at the best way to link that back into what we do now. So
Mm.
we currently, with the pumpkins, we grow them on a stale seed bed, and we battle fat hen with hose and God knows what. Well, when I was at Groundswell, I ordered a strip till machine, and
Right. Okay.
I'm gonna start growing the pumpkins through a crop of white clover,
Interesting. Right.
just to try and suppress the weeds, fix
Yeah.
nitrogen. Um, we're going to plant less strawberries per meter now from now on to let the air get in,
Mm.
and to also hopefully um, basically means that we don't suffer so bad with mildew, and we'll be able to use more biological um, products to spray with. Really,
Amazing.
yeah.
Amazing. So have you
I think
had good, uh, do people, I suppose if people come to your, for the pick your own strawberries, then maybe, I don't know, I guess that'll be the first time they've encountered aquaponic systems and tunnels. So it must be quite a, I don't know, it must be pretty cool for them, I suppose.
yeah, people you get a lot
They
of
must have
people
a
will
lot of
say, "Oh,
questions, I suppose, is
yeah,
what
they
I'm
do.
saying.
Yeah, you'll get some people that ask questions, but I think they'll ask questions whatever they like. The same bloke that will ask me a question um, about strawberries is the same type of guy that comes and asks me about how our pizza oven works when I'm doing a wedding on a Saturday night for Laura.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, it's all that type of person asks questions.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
But what,
some people are like oblivious to it.
yeah. Is this the second season you've done the strawberries?
Third,
Third. Okay.
it's our best. Our best. It's got better every year. This has been our best year.
Is that because of the weather this year, or is that just because your experience and what you've learned?
Probably a bit of everything.
All right.
Yeah. The weather's been fantastic. Our strawberries, it's probably been too hot for them, if anything,
Okay.
causing stress. So our strawberries are grown in on tables in tunnels. You can actually see one there
Mm.
in the background. Um, yeah, so yeah, if it gets too hot, the strawberries start to shut down.
Okay.
Which some days it was 40 degrees in the tunnels.
Yeah. I suppose the
Yeah.
good weather has at least brought people out, I guess.
Yes.
More
Yeah.
footfall.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
People are spending less money this year, though.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I
Sign of
think
the
there's
times, I guess.
yeah, definite sign of the times. I think we're quite lucky because a day out at Arscott Farm is as expensive or as cheap as you want to make it.
Mm.
We don't charge entry. I'm hell bent that I want to keep it as accessible and available to as many people as possible.
Mm.
So you don't have to book to come. We don't charge entry. Yeah, and you can spend as much or as little as you want. You can buy one pumpkin from us for £1, and you've had a day out.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Brilliant. What's next for you? It's Christmas trees, pumpkins, strawberries. What's the next? You got
Um,
any plans?
yeah, we've got two irons in the fire at the minute.
Okay.
Um, we're opening a farm school in 2 weeks.
Wow. Okay.
Um,
Awesome.
so I've employed a lady who's going to come and work for us 2 days a week.
Yeah.
We've built a forest school, um, and she's going to run farm school, forest school lessons from there.
Brilliant.
Um, we've
That's
got
amazing.
a 2 acre woodland that we've cleared, dug some ponds in, um, used shitloads of pallets to make things that apparently kids like to play with,
Yeah.
um, fenced it out. Yeah, and yeah, she's got 25 years experience of forest school, so she's gonna do that. I'm funding it at the moment. I didn't realize when you add e-commerce to a website how expensive it was.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, but it's something we've got to do, and I've just said yes, and I'll find the money from somewhere. And yeah, so that's really exciting. That's going to be 2 days a week, 3 sessions a day. Um, yeah, and we're aiming it. We've got a hell of a big homeschool population in Shrewsbury,
Mm,
and we're aiming it at them, and also like preschoolers.
mm.
So we're going to go from like tots, so like 2, 3 year olds, up to up to 11 year olds,
Wow.
and then we're going to add an 11 to 15 year old session with me out on the farm. So I'll take them for a walk around the farm. We do a bit of fencing, do a bit of weeding,
Yeah.
just stuff. Come and spend the day with Farmer Joe.
Yeah. Just
Yeah,
hope none of them grabs that register off you. There's 11 to
yeah,
15 year olds.
yeah. Or I don't marry any of them. um, yeah, and then the other thing is, um, we've just we're starting a market garden. Um, we've got the old polytunnel in the yard, which was used for sheep
Mm,
when we were lambing. It's 30 meters long by 9 meters wide,
hmm.
so it's a big tunnel. Um, and we've got a joint venture with a girl who's been um, working with um, a market garden from a big not stately home. That's probably the wrong way of putting it. But a big house who
Okay.
owns a pub, and they do all no dig regenerative
Okay.
um, food through the pub, a local pub, and she's coming to us on a 50-50 joint venture. And we're all heading down to Cotswold Market Garden in 10 days for a course on market garden business
Nice.
management.
Okay.
After your podcast the other week,
Yeah, that's really interesting. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Um, yeah. Wow. So you've got a busy 6 months ahead.
yeah, yeah, and then next year I'm going to go into chickens.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm going to buy one of these mobile egg.
Yeah, okay.
Um, yeah,
Did you see
so
those ones at Groundswell? The movable one.
I went to an open day with them on
Yeah.
Wednesday last week up in Ripon in North Yorkshire. Um, yeah, really interesting.
Yeah.
We sell a lot of eggs through the shop as it is now,
Mm,
and it'd be really nice that we could supply our own through it.
mm.
Yeah,
Amazing. It must be your kids. You you how many kids have you got? Three.
I got two. So I've
Two.
got a 7 year old Lucy,
Yeah.
who's fantastic.
Yeah.
We get so many people say your daughter's amazing. She's just told us everything that's going on at the farm. And then we've got a little lad called Wilf, um, who is he's 2.5,
Okay.
and I think he was sent by the devil. He is a little shit.
That age is challenging.
He got told off at nursery the other day because um, he was taking his shoes off and throwing them at his friends. He got nothing else to throw at kids, so he took his shoes off to throw them.
It must be that aside, it must be a hell of a amazing place for them to grow up. I mean,
Yeah,
you've built something really special there for your family and your kids.
yeah. Lucy has a new best friend every half an hour.
Yeah.
Like we've got the picnic area just over over the other side of the farm there, and like you can have like 20 or 30 people there at any one
Mm.
time, say through who might have an ice cream and stop for half an hour. Or Lucy plays with their kids for half an hour,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then they go, and another kid comes and she plays with them, and she shows
Yeah.
them the goats, and she shows them the pigs, and shows them the geese. Yeah, and then another one comes. Yeah, yeah.
That's
She's
amazing.
very lucky.
Yeah, yeah, and amazing, amazing skills they're learning from that. People skills
Yeah,
and
Laura quite often says, "Oh, I feel sorry for our kids. All they ever do is sell strawberries and pumpkins and stuff." I said, "Babe, they live on an open farm." I said, "They
yeah,
literally every day they're on an open farm." I said, "It's not, yeah,
yeah, amazing.
yeah,
All right, let's finish on a bit of a an optimistic note. I genuinely find your story quite inspiring, Joe, because you've sort of really carved out quite a uh, an amazing niche for yourselves and built, as I said, just built something special for you and your family from an extremely difficult place. You know, losing your dad at an
there's
early age
nothing
and
like an overdraft as an alarm clock will."
well, no. Well, I guess yeah. She's speaking to a tenant farmer here, so yes, I know. But
Yeah,
but you know, to where you are now and what you've built, and you know what the exciting plans we've just heard about. There are a lot of young people who want to get into farming, and we read a lot about the sort of Jeremy Clarkson effect at the moment. You know, it's inspired a lot of people. What is your message to them? You know, people who are starting out on their farming careers, or
own
maybe
it.
yeah, but people, especially people who haven't been left a farm or they're trying to find a way into farming. How do they, what would you say to them?
I said this to a young lad that came here in the summer. He's a blacksmith, I say to him, "You'll never get invited to the party. You've got to gate crash it." Like you sort of like you say, the Jeremy Clarkson effect. Well, when you were young and when I was young, if you went out for a night out and someone asked you what you did for a job, you were not saying farmer, were you?
Mm.
You'd crawl up your own arse before you said you were a farmer because
Mm.
people are like now. How far do you have to go before you see a pair of Hexby shorts or a
That's-
pair of red back boots or a
Yeah.
mullet or a grassman hoodie? There's it's they are everywhere,
They
and
are,
they're
yeah.
not. They're
Yeah.
not just at the Royal Welsh Show. They're not
Yeah.
just at the livestock market. You walk down Shrewsbury High Street, you'll see somebody walking around in a pair of Hexby shorts and a pair of red back boots.
Mm.
Well, it's cool. It's sexy to be a farmer now.
Mm.
Everybody wants to be a farmer. Everybody wants to be involved in farming, and it's yeah, own it, make it your like. There's plenty of opportunities out there. You've got to make the opportunities for yourself, though. You can't expect for them to come knocking at your door. You've got to go and knock their door, and you've got to gate crash that opportunity and create the opportunity. So yeah, don't think that you're going to just become a farmer because you've watched Clarkson's Farm. You've got to yeah, you've got to make that opportunity, and you've got to think a little bit outside the box, and how are you going to add value to your product that you can become a farmer.
Yeah. You've still got to work bloody hard as well, haven't you? I sometimes think,
Yeah,
I sometimes worry that I know, the people showcasing farming on social media and stuff, some of it's great, and I know it inspires a lot of young people, but I sometimes do worry that it's a little bit of a false impression. You've still got to work your ass off, haven't you? Whatever direction you go into.
yeah, and I remember a few years ago here at the farm, a mate of mine's son said to me, he goes, he seemed a bit lost at the time, and he was helping on the farm, and he said, "I just want to find something that you can do and you can earn a load of money in." And look, he's only 19. I said, "Look, mate," I said, "I'm going to be completely honest with you now." And he goes, "What do you mean?" I said, "You can do anything in the world, but if you work your ass off in it,
Mm,
you'll make money."
yeah.
I said, "You could be selling, I don't know, you could sell dust. But if you sell the best dust in the world and you persuade somebody that you're selling the best dust in the world, then you're going to be able to do it. If you're a farmer, if you work your ass off, you'll make money at it
Mm,
and you'll make a living." But yeah,
yeah.
it's you. Someone else said to me once. She said, "There's not many free lunches in the world,"
Mm,
and it's true.
mm, that's right.
Yeah,
That's right. All right then, Joe. Let's finish this off with the traditional hard-hitting questions.
yeah.
What's the best gig you've ever been to? Music, comedy,
I'm
anything?
gonna keep a bit of artistic license, a bit of with this question, and I'm gonna say Groundswell.
Yeah, okay.
Not so much a gig, but yeah,
Live event though. It's kind of
yeah.
fun. I'll allow it. Yeah, I love Grantville. So yeah, definitely allowed. All right, what's the best piece of advice you've ever been given?
Old boy used to live in the next village to us here. He passed away a few years ago, grand age of 90. He his name was Emlyn, and he was the butcher from the village, and he come from the mid Wales. And he said to me, he said, "When I left school, Joe," he said, "my dad said to me, 'What are you going to do now, boy?' He said, 'Well, I'm either going to go work on the farm, Dad, or I'm going to go into the butcher's shop.' And his dad said to him, 'If I was you, boy, I'd go in the butcher's shop because there's always a quid in the till at the end of the day.'" And that's exactly how we've built our business.
I like that. I like that a
We,
lot.
as long as we're open, there's money rolling in.
Yeah, yeah. That's very good. All right, what's the best book you've ever read?
Thomas Fairbanks, I Bought a Mountain.
Yeah, nice. You're not the first person who said that on this
No,
podcast.
someone else said it the other week, and I was
Yeah,
like, "Can I say it again?" But
yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, great answer. Okay, if you could meet any historical figure, who would it be and why?
again, I'm going to use a bit of artistic license. It'd be my dad.
Yeah, okay. I wondered if you might say that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think you could say anything else, could you? Yeah.
no,
All right
I was
then.
stuck between that and Winston Churchill. So
I think I mean, as much as I respect the great man Winston Churchill, I would say your dad's a better answer. All
yeah.
right. Lastly, then, what's your all-time favorite song?
Oh, this is probably, yeah,
I'm
I've
hoping
probably
for a
got,
big Young Farmers anthem here. Big sort of early 2000s Young Farmers anthem.
I have probably got the most diverse taste in music of, and I could go from Silence by Delirium.
Yeah.
I'm quite a big early 2000s um, house music fan.
Yeah, okay.
And then I could probably go to the other extreme of um, Cal on Land
Yeah. Yeah.
and everything in between.
Yeah.
So it change on the daily. But if you had to ask me right here, right now, I'd probably say Thunderstruck ACDC.
That's a really good show. Do you know we use Thunderstruck because I coach a girls rugby team. We get them because at the moment it's pre-season and we're doing a lot of fitness work. We've had them doing. We put Thunderstruck on a speaker and make them do a burpee every time they say thunder. And by the end of the song, they're absolutely dying. It's
I
really
bet they
good for
are.
that. It's good for that. Yeah. Okay. Great choice. All right, Joe. It's been amazing to speak to you. It's ridiculous, by the way, that I haven't come to you in person because you're not that far away. But I should have come and done it in person, shouldn't we, really? But yeah, we'll have to get over there one day and buy a pumpkin off you. Bring
Yeah,
the kids. I'll let you know.
yeah.
I'll let you know.
Thank
But
you,
no,
Will. I've
no,
I've really enjoyed it.
good man. Thank you for taking the time. Thanks to everyone at home for listening. Look out for bonus episodes of the podcast, putting out a bit of stuff at the moment through the channel. So like, share, rate, review, all that jazz. It's all a big help. Thank you for listening. Hope to see you next time. I've been Will Evans. This has been Rock and Roll Farming. Thank you and good night.